Good time zone chat. How's it going? Let's check the buttons. Got there. Oh, I feel a little high in the frame here. Let's tweak that. All right. Swap to a 750. I wonder if we have any 10s to open. Nope. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Let's do roll call. What's up, Timber? Hello, Tron. Greetings, Mama. Lotus Friday. You got it? How you doing, Timber? Timber gets a double greeting because he checked in on the song. Hey, Pablo. What's up, Radianware? Yeah, I haven't gone back and explicitly looked up the R&D ones because I the set code names, just because enough 3-word kind of ideas were coming to me without it. Although I think some of the ones I've used already were probably R&D code names at some point. I don't think F, Marry, Kill was ever a R&D set code name. And it's funny, I looked it up. My instinct was Marry, F, Kill would be the proper ordering of those words, but on the interwebs, the dominant sequencing of that was F, Marry, Kill. That's an interesting AMA. I'll take that. Let's do an AMA. Hat says, it was pointed out on the Discord that last place and first place at Worlds don't get massively different prizes, 50K versus 70K. Can you talk about why WotC might use a flatter payout for Worlds? Sure. This is just me theorizing. First, my one question that leaps to mind is, for me, is this a Huey Jensen influenced payout, or is this pre-Huey decisions? I don't know. Because one of the things I think is exciting about getting someone like Huey Jensen, baby Huey, so or as you may know him, he doesn't really go by that anymore, does he? I don't hear that. That's an old school nickname. That's where the Huey comes from, because he's not even, his name isn't Huey. But that's how I think of him. Anyway, having someone, an experienced pro in a position of influencing how the OP structure moves forward is great, because they're going to be able to better understand what the pros are looking for out of these events. And a flat payout makes total sense for some reasons. It depends on whether you're using the payout as marketing. And frankly, Wizards payouts aren't big enough to use as marketing. So for example, the World Series of Poker uses the size of the first prize in the main event as how it markets the event. Come see someone, or they'll just, also people like to talk about the total prize purse. That's a way to make a number bigger. Instead of talking about first prize, you talk about the total value of the prize purse as your marketing. But there are some events in which, where, especially like poker, where the money is the thing and the money is the marketing. And so you're always going to try and make it an extremely top-heavy prize in a poker tournament so that you can tout the insane value of first place and the dream, maximum dream. What's maximum dream? First place in this poker tournament, right? Whereas now let's flip it to sports. When you're watching, for example, I don't know, whatever favorite sport, if you're a sports fan, whatever sport you like, when you're watching two teams or two athletes compete in their chosen field, are you sitting there going, if they win, the prize is this much for them, and if they lose, they get this much? We don't really focus. Nobody's worried about the amount of money that the winner of an athletic competition takes away from it. That's not usually what we're thinking about. Boxing is maybe another time. They always talk about how much the boxers are making to box in a given event. But mostly the viewers, the fans, don't really care about the money. They care about who's crowned champ, right? They care about winners and losers and legend and lore, and not whether first place gets this percentage of last place. So first point is that if we're not using cash as the cash prizes as marketing, it doesn't matter to top load it. And then as viewers, we don't care about that difference. We just care about winners and losers for the most part. And then let's get to the players themselves. That's the place where it makes the most sense to me, because anybody who plays a lot of poker or Magic or plays any game with variance as a means for real income, whether you're 100% pro or just relying somewhat on that kind of income for your life, it's brutal. It's really rough to ride the swings of variance when your actual livelihood is on the line. I can barely ride the swings of variance when I'm pretending a game of Magic matters and it really doesn't. When the game actually does matter, that's even more intense. And so imagine you're an aspiring professional Magic player. You're hoping you're good enough to play on this circuit as your primary income, and you did it. You did all the stuff you needed to do to actually get you're playing in Worlds. Congratulations. Now imagine that whether or not you can keep going pro and whether or not this is all going to work out for you kind of depends on whether you spike Worlds or bust out of Worlds. That if you bust out of Worlds and get nothing, you're kind of back to the drawing board and whereas if, hey, you get lucky and spike the thing and take it down, hey, I've paid for my next year of Magic tournament attendance, right? So Magic itself already has so much variance in it that who gets the crown on a given day is a pretty wildly chancy thing when you've got a room full of that level of quality of players. So flattening the pay scale, if the viewers don't give a crap, which mostly we don't, is much better for a competitor who's trying to plan their life and know that, all right, I made it to Worlds. Financially, the question is answered. Financially, 50K to 70K, somewhere in there. Great. That's guaranteed. Oh my God. I can plan for my meals after Worlds so that I can, in the meantime, actually prepare for Worlds with nothing else on my mind except trying to do as best I can in this event. And then we all get to focus on the great fun of crowning a winner and seeing who takes it down. And everybody's interested in that, who's watching and participating, and you get to keep the focus on that. So the flat pay scale for Wizards tournaments makes complete sense to me. And because the numbers that in terms of prize purse that Wizards generates, that Magic generates versus a lot of other huge digital competitive games, they're not doing themselves any favors by touting what first place gets. At best, they're going to tout the total value of the prize purse, at which point the flat payout doesn't impact that at all, right? So there you go. I think it's a great thing to do for all of those reasons, and I'm wondering if Mr. Jensen is has fingerprints on this or not. Anyway, there you go. Let's call that complete. And then I will ask y'all best of 1 versus best of 3 today. Alexis is here. Welcome, Alexis. I don't think you were here. It was Monday or Wednesday when I got back my first set of rejects from a really big sort submission. And I was stunned at the ratio of damaged to heavily played. I thought they would be much more even, and instead it was like literally like 200 to 4 or 5 of damaged to heavily played, and I didn't understand that. And I was thinking, in some level, that it meant that that heavily played is kind of a useless condition category, and in some ways, I kind of think it is. But as I went through those cards more carefully, I kind of understood how the ratio gets there. It's because don't think of it as the buckets are heavily played and damaged. There's heavily played due to general wear, damaged due to general wear, damaged due to ink, damaged due to water, damaged due to foreign substance on the card, damaged due to this being split on the side, damaged due... So there's like 400 categories of damaged and a ton of different ways that a card that is otherwise whatever condition it's in, snap damaged because of the one flag, right? Which is one thing that's just like really weird about the card grading and card desirability. So I think it's a combination of those things. There's just a lot of auto damage. If you completely pulled all the cards from the sendbacks that were just it hit a flag, and is auto damaged, it would be a much more close ratio. Heavily played to damage, but I still think heavily played would be pretty slight. I almost, it just feels like the least useful category. Like, basically it's like, heavily played and damaged when it comes to general wear are just very close. So many packs. I don't know. Do we have any? If the number down at the bottom isn't 10 plus, do you have anything? Oh, well, cards. I must have had something. What's going on, Rob? Yeah, I completely even retract going to the Baby Huey place. It's just instinct. I'm a magic boomer, and I heard that nickname forever, and so it's just a little bit etched. But like any change, I just must know that he's not using that name, so I should stop. Yeah, that's true. If you can win one of these events, ostensibly you should be able to convert that into additional income anyway. But where'd we end up? Oh, best of 3 won again today. Yeah, I think I'm just going to list a bunch of damaged cards, Alexis, and I think anybody who gambles on them in my listings is going to be happy, and I've got a 100% feedback rating, so generally that's going to make people trust my damaged cards a little more. An Alchemy full set in the summer. Interesting. Draftable alchemy. All right, I'm in for that. There we go. Nothing wrong with digital design space. Yeah, immediately it gets my brain starting to design digital draft mechanics. Oh, thanks for hanging true. Heart goes out to you and your family and anybody who loved that dog. I mean, if all goes according to plan, I'm going to say goodbye to Rocket someday, and I know that pain is waiting, but it just makes me enjoy every day I have with my favorite hound all the more. As my wife likes to put it, we're going to take care of you for all your time, Rocket. All your time. Yeah, it's I'm so sorry. I mean, it was the plan. True has reached the end of the plan with that friend, but doesn't make it any less devastating to say goodbye to such a friend. I don't know if anybody gets me more than Rocket. All right, well, back to the best of 3 queues. On Wednesday, I had a nice, hilarious 0-4 and done. Didn't feel great, but also was able to kind of laugh it off. It happens. The deck was fine, not great, and we ran into some good decks, good players, doing good things, and, well, suddenly it was over. All right. Yes, indeed. Let's go distract at the very least. Let's see. Let's go ahead and enter in gems. We got a gem entry. And get to draft view. Let's see how fast this fires. Oh, you gotta love Rob starts barking orders at me. That always goes well for him. I won't time you out, but I'm going to reject your meme machine and give you the correct meme.
You don't need double talk. You need blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. No habla español.
You know you need it. You couldn't live without the blah. All right, let's get back to draft view and cross fingers for a mythic bomb in the upper left. Not even. How about a glorified common in the upper left? A lot of flavor text on this one. A lot of flavor text. What are we actually going to take? Boy, this pack is junky. Maybe we could make a case for many journeys. I don't love starting on any of the red stuff here. None of it feels good enough. And yeah, I guess Beetle, Suit Up, and Journeys are the options. This has been a bit of a letdown. A bit. Just, whatever, it's fine. It's just not, it's like, I don't know. This is more gluey. You've loved it, really? I guess I keep top decking it where it's like thanks, creature in 4 turns, or it's like, I'm gonna go with Beetle. I don't know. I just like that it's a glue card that fits in a lot of decks, so not an unreasonable place to start. Circuit Mender, pretty nice in any deck. So I think we go ahead and take that over the Reckoner Raid, which would be a nice match color-wise. But yeah, Circuit Mender going in any deck, I think, is a little better than the removal options and the on-color play. Yeah, much better pack. A lot of options here. Rare missing. Okay. Well, hard to pass an Assassin's Ink here. We know 1-for-1 removal isn't at its best in the format, but you still are happy to pick off some important stuff, and instant's always valuable. And it matches our Beetle. I don't mind the Kumano, although I like that a little in... I guess it's fine in red, but I think of this more aggro, and black being a little more controlling. And do this. Yeah, for second pick, I liked the 100%. This is interesting. Banishing Slash is at its best in a black-white deck where you're most likely to pull off the thing. I'm going to reserve that for now. Another Many Journeys. They get better in multiples, in my opinion, because then you're just more likely to get one when you want it. But still, if I took a green card, I would actually take Season of Renewal, I think. We could take an Infiltrator to stay on Color Point, or Companion to stay open and on Artifact Point. But the Slash is what appeals to me most. So I'm going to take it. In black-white? Like, as a splash? Or are you saying in green-white or green-black? I mean, Season of Renewal seems good almost anywhere in the format. Enchantments are just everywhere. So it's hard to imagine if you can resolve Season in any kind of late game not having a 2-for-1. Samurai to help on a slash plan. Backwater to hedge towards being able to do some ninjutsu stuff. Boar is solid, and we are a bit on the artifact plan. I don't know. Where are you at on this? I don't love the samurai as the thing. I almost want to take the boar. I think I'm going to take the backwater. I feel like we've passed a lot of red, and I don't think I want to try to get into red here. But I could see backdooring into something ninjutsu related, so I just hedged there. Doesn't really look supported in this pack, though. Here's another Season. This is the Careful Cultivation. I still think this is a playable card. It's like it goes way late because Ramp tends to be a pretty bad top deck for one thing. But I still do like this if you're really trying to play at 5 and 6. You know, if you're ramping to something, then I think that's totally worth it. But yeah, we could take a Season here. Although I'm gonna take a Fall. This also has fallen, but we're best of 3. This is really nice in best of 3, I think. Yeah, Repel is fine. Also best of 3 related. Haj likes a return to action. Yeah, again, doing that with Virus Beetle and Sagas is fun. Best of 3 is why I'm even considering this over this, but Fall kind of covers that ground a little bit, so I'm going to go with the Haj suggestion here and take the return. Anything to pull us off black-white or especially like, you know, into something like I could take the sphere, and then we still have that. This is no kind of sign though, although it's artifact in blue. Again, we have a lot of artifact stuff. You like the land? I've never played this. Who's playing? Have you played this? I mean, we take it for. Yeah, I think the samurai. I think I'd be on samurai. Oh yeah, you were thinking it was the color choice land. If it were, I'd be with you on that. Oh, you thought it was the card draw land? Yeah. Dragonfly suit has been just outright bad in my experience. We could take some gems, no big deal there. And really, you've played it in ninjas? I just feel like not being able to cast a colored non-creature spell is such a deal breaker. I'm going to take Unforgiving One, though. It might play. It's not unplayable, it's just not great. I've actually liked it with the iron, what is it, you know, the 1/1, where it's really the 0/0 that enters with a +1/+1 counter and then shears it when it dies. That is a nice little combo with that. Are we playing this? Are we playing this? I'm going to actually take the Familiar as the card I like the most here. And we have a couple of white cards, but nothing that makes me feel married to white. Boar is fine here. Another boar. Centipede is really underwhelmed. I know it attacks as a 4/2 for 3, which is solid, but somehow it just has not lived up to that apparent solidness. I'm going to take it, though, over a second boar. Essence Capture is interesting, playable. Well, we got a Bomby card in the color we're not. We have no green yet. But what else is there? Another Exemplar. The mech. This isn't that good. Like, this is build around, and the deck doesn't like. I've actually gotten beat by this. I have seen a mobilizer mech has mobilized some mechs and done the thing, but yeah. So I'm not sure what to do here. Tamiyo's, that might be the most likely, or I guess Song Shaper. Or maybe it's just Suit Up if I'm going to take a blue card. Really, the only black card being very medium is tough here. I'm taking the Suit Up, but I mean, whatever, I don't know. Oh, look, Naomi and Born to Drive and a on-color, potentially, rare. But as I recall, this one doesn't do much other than be a rate monster. Vehicles. I mean, maybe you start... What else? What are you taking there? I didn't like anything in that pack. And am I not in blue? I don't know. I don't know what colors I am yet. I think if we take a black-white, we might want Naomi. Although this is quite a rate monster, a 4/3 at 3. Imperial Oath or Beetle. Yeah, that's interesting too, that you're not even looking at the higher rarity stuff. I'm gonna take Naomi, but I'm not sure about that pick at all. Twisted Embrace, I'm more sure of. Maybe we can wheel one of these. Another Naomi, which we'll take. It's a legend. You don't want 2 in your hand, but doubling the chance of drawing one and having a replacement when they kill on sight is good. Beetle and Era are exactly the 2 drops that we're wanting to support Naomi, but let's take another Naomi here. And that kind of locks it up here. I think we know where we're going now. So you take fixing. I love me some good fixing. And what's the alternative? Moth Rider, Hover Bike, both playable. But I think we found a good lane. I don't think we're going to be short playables, so I'm going to make sure we can cast our spells. I like the bike too. It's pretty good. Arstal, you're probably correct and the grown-up in the room. But look, it's a gold, on-color, uncommon that I can build around and do clever things with. More fixing is tempting, but Era, I really do want to get 2-drop enchantment creatures and 2-drop artifact creatures. Scrounger, maybe we take a flyer on here. It's an artifact. Backwater suggests maybe we could do a blue splash if something presented itself. Steward's interesting though. Yeah, that's a good point, Rob. I sometimes forget that when you're playing enough, like we have the one Twisted Embrace and we can find some auras as well. This does enough as a go fetch removal card to run. We're not quite there yet, but we can get there. I like it for the hedge, yeah. Brute Suit. From when we wheel... Oh, no, this is the... Oh, yeah, wheel's coming up. We're going to wheel that rare, right? So we should take the suit. We could take Crag to hedge towards a red splash. Yeah, I guess we're best of 3. We can take the Repel. Are we a deck that could ever use this? I don't think so. I think we're doing too much. I think that kills us too much, but that's interesting. Well, also good to see the only black card in the pack came back. We can take it and it's playable. I don't think we want the Katana, although it adds an artifact. I'm going to take the Blade Blesser. And we'll see. Another return to action. We're going to put it in the board, but at this point, continue sending color signals at least, now that we're locked in. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to take Season on spec for if we pick up a green land. That's fair. It's probably the right pick. But we don't have any, like right now I'm not splashing green. We got another pack to go, so that would have been fine. Scrounger. This Scrounger I'm going to put in the board. Moth Rider still being here. It's all good signs. I feel like we're getting kind of on-color cards from light packs late. So I feel good about our chances to come up with a nice pack 3. Hey, how about I asked for this pack 1, but we got a mythic now. Although not really a bomb, I guess. But don't let this hit. I mean, you hit once and you feel pretty darn good about this thing. So we're going to take it. What else have we got? Here's that Apprentice that I was thinking about before. I wouldn't mind this Shrine. This is the Shrine I like to play solo. I mean, just going wide with tokens is really annoying. I'm going to take this. This has worked for me. You can do this thing. Yeah, casting off your life total is pretty nutty. That's the thing. It seems medium, and then you imagine getting all that for, being able to cast without mana, and it's like, oh. I think we might be able to wheel the Barons from this pack. I'm going to take the Raid here. Oh, let's take Kieran. That's good enough. Maybe wheel this. That'd be nice. Yeah, sorry, I didn't. I just I got excited by that and didn't even glance up there. But no, this is the correct pick. Well, it depends on where the table's at with black picks. I mean, we wheeled the Blade Blesser, but that's pretty easy. But it was also literally the only black card in the pack. I don't know. Enough has been coming around to suggest that we found a good lane that I'm in a we'll see mode. I'm going to take the Ambusher. Lifelink, especially welcome with the Mythic we picked up. And yeah, Intervention is solid. We've got some removal here. I'm going to take the synergy piece, and here's our chance to grab an oath. Super sweet to pick up one of these. Here's a Gloom Shrieker saying, hey, maybe splash me. But again, we don't have the tools to splash green right now, and we're getting a little bit too late to make them, to assume they're going to materialize when there's a fine pick like Born to Drive here. And I do think this is a fine pick. It's not busted, but instant speed, 2 power, 2 toughness for 3, plus the chance in a late game to just make something oppressive is cool. The Shrine Steward. That's true. Can go fetch it. Silencer. Not great, but we could play it. You Are Already Dead is a reasonable blocking punishment, but I would take the Silencer over it. This is not a great card. Oh, you'd splash the Specialist? That's interesting. We did have some blue tools, that's fair. I just kind of bounce off of splashing pretty quickly at this point, it seems. Although here's a tool for it. Where are we at? We're at exactly playables right now. And where are we at on the split? 5 enchantments, 6 artifacts. So we've got a decent split, but not a lot of both. Maybe I'm going to take Paper Craft Decoy here. Gives us another 2. Fits the theme. Searchlight, fine too. I just like the 2-drop. Here's another season, but Kami of Terrible Secrets is nice here. I have never resolved this and drawn a card. I'm hoping we change that today. Not that I don't respect it. I didn't at first, but now I see the frequency with which it can be set up to draw the card. I like it, but I just haven't been in that deck with that pick available. Taking this because it's the right color, but I don't think it's going to make the main. We're best of 3. We could take a Lucky Offering and probably find spots to bring it in, but Golden Tailed Disciple is just a generic thing that is a glue. Again, Lifelink I like with our Mythic. Enchantment I like with our Uncommons. We're going to take the Disciple and play it. The Centipede probably not, and maybe this one not. Have we picked up enough other artifacts? I'm gonna put this. We got all sorts of centipedes and scroungers to bring up our artifact numbers as needed. Literally never, but I mean, I may not draft as much as you all think I do. We could go look at our numbers, but I mean, you need to be. It just sometimes those things don't come up. It was a long time before I even resolved Companion. Like, not anything fancy. Just literally put a 1/1 enchantment creature ETB draw a card on the stack. I just hadn't, like, I love the card on first sight. I just never got a chance for a long time. Yeah, a little enchantment shy. 6, though. 6 and 6 in the current split. Let's see what the creature split is. We got 16. Sometimes this is not going to be an enchantment, though. It might end up just... I could probably cut Unforgiving one. It's not doing a thing here. Yeah, this is no great prize, but we got it late, and it's a 2-powered 2-drop with no downside. 2-powered 2-drop with no downside on color is just a playable Magic card. I know we don't like to look it straight in the face, but curve matters, and you want better than that, but you want curve more than you want to, you know, cut a silencer because you don't like it. sometimes you'll take anything. It doesn't matter what the dude is. It's like, and also sometimes your opponent is so worried about you getting value, they're going to discard something crappy and get, like, it does somewhat have some lightning rodish to it. And yeah, we should keep fall in the main because of our sub theme, the Naomi side of stuff. So ideally we cut a creature that's neither an enchantment or an artifact or one of the instants or sorceries. Return to action could go. Maybe let's put repel, start repel on the board, and then I think I just like this deck here. Yeah, Hearthstall was there too on that. Yeah, it's fine. Not amazing, but we can do this. Order. Get it? You like Repel main? Repel may be likely to have more surefire targets given the prevalence of enchantments, but if there is a target for the fall, it's much better. I'm going to risk it, but I see what you're saying. Sorry, got lost there. Here we go. And then I think Tron had lands. Yeah. All right. And yeah. Not our finest hour. Yeah, I couldn't do it during draft, Rob, because I don't have the meme set up on that channel. So let me get to the play scene, and then I'll grudgingly hook you up with your meme if I can find it. You're such a troll to go redeeming old memes. In fact, no, I'm gonna take your money and then give you a meme that's available. Well, there you go. There's one.
Oh no, please! I can't read your crazy moon language!
I won't even count that as the meme I'm giving you. I'll give you a let's see, what's one we don't see often? Format. How about... Oh, actually, we might do that one today. This one we haven't played too much.
I say I'm gonna get high.
All right. Keepable. If not, it's, a little awkward. It's keepable, but it's one of those hands where we're asking a lot of it. Well, I just need lands and some other things to do. Just both lands and other things to do deck, no problem. The good news is most of the deck is reasonable draws, especially if we get a third land of any kind. Third land of any kind, and it's like most of our draws then are really nice, except for like our 6s and 5s. And I'll run this, I might as well put the planes out for the slash. It's not an instant though, right? So never really doing that, but it looks unlikely to matter which way we sequence those lands. Oh, we are not 0-1. I did run... We have 2 fixing lands in, right? Or I made make sure I didn't cut those. Should I have all my lands in? Oh, I think, didn't I take a... Maybe we took a... No, I took a real pick instead. We have our one dual land in, I guess. Yeah, we had the white... We have that one in, but I don't have the generic ETB tapped one. I had an opportunity for it and passed. Not going to slash a freaking mnemonic sphere, so no way there. Might slash that, but can't yet, so we'll let them attack at least and hope it's no more painful than 4. We'll see if they augment power at all. It's like I called for it. And it's like I called for the thing in my deck that I can't use very well. But we get to slash it. That's good. Little low on life here, but I'm still not blocking with the patrol, so I'm attacking. Hey, there we go. Deck is playing nice here. What do we got? I looked away for a sec. Oh, this is our favorite. Well, this thing kind of needs to die just so that this can stop battering us. Although I'm a little nervous about the open mana. That being said, we're kind of in a spot where there's not much to do about it. Although I could just hold the ink. And let's do this at instant speed on their turn. Then if they have something, we make them leave their mana fallow. Although they're going to crack the sphere if we don't do something for them. Like if they had a crab or something, they would just crack the sphere. So we can't really punish them and leave mana fallow on their side. So then maybe, given that, I should just go for it. If they didn't have the sphere, I would take the chance that we could cause them to leave mana fallow. But since we don't have that, I'm going to go ahead and embrace and give it a shot here. Let's see if we can augment our flyer, take out their one creature, and make some progress here. Well, I want to do it there so that we can get 2 more power, too. I mean, it augments power, so... Well, they are going full-on value mode. They've outdrawn us quite a bit here now, already with this and with the future sphere. However, I still like our spot. This is a little awkward, but yeah, we're gonna. Man, if return to action could cause a lethal block. A lethal attack, that would be nice. But as it is, Assassin's Ink is our only play, unless we want to tap down the Puzzle Maker. I just don't know if we want to use Assassin's Ink here. But I also don't have a great plan other than that. We're kind of waiting for 5th mana so that we can play the Steward and go get our other Aura, and then try to get to our 5s and 6s. We're at 10. They're outdrawing us. Maybe I'm supposed to just wait and kill something else. Yeah, do we though? I mean, how, like... Yeah, I guess that, especially Ink is an instant, so I'm just going to hold Moth Rider Patrol up here. We have a couple of things we can do. We can tap with Patrol, or we can Ink. We even have a bounce block on the Puzzle Maker, so if they come at us, and they probably will because it's a tap of the Puzzle Maker and at least a scry, we'll go ahead and block, and then we have the Ink. All right. I don't mind this. At least we get to keep an Aura out there to combine with the Steward to turn on everything else. So yeah, we'll just let that happen. I could have activated, but I think I am just going to kill the 3/3. with the ink rather than do any tapping. But we'll let them complete their turn first. Ooh, see? Because now maybe that has to die. Immediately go check. No enchantments right now. If this dies, they could have one. Any thoughts? I'm still inclined to take out the portrait, especially because that's annoying if they can get it back to hand and start over again. Yeah, that's true. Good point. If we kill it, then they get something with Narika that's very good. So maybe we just can't do that. And I am supposed to take out Narika. I want to use this. So I am going to go ahead and kill the poet, having chat help me puzzle through that little aspect of it. So don't love this, but really hoping to draw a land and get Steward going. Found the land. Can I get the Steward going? Here you go.
They should have said the poet.
Gonna have to take another crack. If they send both of these, I'm gonna accept because we're really trying to get to Naomi and Imperial Oath. So, tight turn sequence here where we're gonna go pretty low on life, looking to turn the corner on the strength of the stuff back in hand. If they kill the Steward outright, whoa, I really hope we draw a basic land then, because we want to Oath and look for more artifacts to set up the Naomis. Speaking of Oath, now I kind of want a basic land for the Oath either way. One top, two to the bottom for Oppo. Nice Scry 3. Into another Scry 1, although now they know. I guess they should have attacked first. I don't know, maybe that doesn't matter. Maybe either. I guess you want to do the smaller Scries first, right? Finish on the big Scry. Well, we were given at least the untap with everything in play. So let's go ahead and Naomi and get this whole thing going. Now I kind of hope they kill Naomi if they take a turn to do that. Although blue-white doesn't really kill. Blue can, but there you go. Hey, that's close. The owner put on top, decline. Although this is rough. I'm sitting here cackling like we're in a good spot. He says, about to throw a bunch of stuff under the bus. So, like, how do we not even die? I guess we go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got to block 2. If we trade for portrait, we're taking 7 and going to 1. And then we draw a land. We can play an Oath after, but then we're dead in the air. So can't leave us dead to the air. So we need to chump and kill to maximize our chance of picking up this game. Although we do have return to action to gain some life if we just wanted to chump and survive here. In fact, maybe I have to... boy, I just don't know how we do this. I don't know how we pull this off in a way that's fruitful. I'm going to do this simply because I think if there's any chance this game, it's with this set and using somehow return to action for life. But I think we're basically done with game 1. So yeah, see, we got that, and now can we somehow 2-spell? I guess we Blade Bless and return to action with the Steward, and we do that on defense. Yeah, that's true. They might just attack with the Flyer. That would be the way that they should do it. So then we have to send the Steward, which is rough, but we'll get 4. I don't know. I don't think we win. I think this is bad. Okay, well, that's good. They did that at least. I wish we could get removal with this ETB, but no. We'll look. I think it's empty though. Maybe I shouldn't have done that because I reshuffled Naomi, but it's not going to matter. Might not even end up showing him the second. Although they might have figured it out from our decision to bottom the first. So Born gives us 2 blockers. Is that what we need to not die? If I play this, we're dead, right? So I need to hold this, and that's our only way to not die. This is... I don't know if I'm just increasing my chances of losing in the upcoming games without increasing my chances of winning this one, you know? Ha! Totally not dead. Whoa, dead. Well, we exchanged some information there, shall we say. All right, another pretty clear beatdown for me. It's like on quite the on-screen losing streak here. That's all right. Again, it's just our deck is fine. Their deck is good. Their deck beat ours. All right. Blue, white enchantment artifacts. Exile target enchantment looking fine. What do we think about 4+ game? Really not a lot of action on the 4+ game here. I think I'm going to make that swap. I guess we got 7-Tail and Blade Blizzard. Those aren't the work. Oh, Blade Blizzard isn't, though. So really, we only saw 1. That's not enough. And this is maybe more of a sign of what Rob was saying, that that this is actually a better main deck card than the Fall. So let's start here. Do we want Mind Rot? Yeah, that's interesting. It's going to be better against this. Except that's not the Mind Rot. That's the single card, which I like less. I like the idea of trying to recover some of the card disadvantage with their discard 2. You don't think Repel's getting much? I mean, it's exile target enchantment. I would love dearly to exile target Portrait of Michiko. And you know there's others in here. But maybe it's over costed. Certainly the only targets we're seeing are a lot less than 4 mana. So that's a fair point, Silver. Did you not hear me like legit give you credit, Rob? Rob said repel over. Oh, you said repel over return. So you like the Fall as well? Which return? Oh, return. Well, yeah, sorry. I think I might have. I guess we're probably playing with that Fall again. I don't think I think I lost the race there, and I don't think we changed our deck. Well, another tough hand, although this, we're asking less of our deck, but frankly, the risk of ruin feels a little greater here. Like if we flood out, if the first thing we're doing is a 5-drop, we're not going to win the game. Sloaf says snap Mull. I don't know about that. I'm not going to be, like, if we didn't do anything until 3, that would be not the best, but okay. If we didn't do anything until 4 or 5, that's a disaster. And we're on the play. I don't love going down more cards against a deck looking to outdraw us. So I'm going to keep, but I know that this could go poorly. We also have double color of both spells, and the 4 mana we have is the even split. So I do like that as well. This is the nightmare scenario, though, drawing lands. All right. Well, it's approaching disaster levels. Our first play is going to be at best on turn 4, looking like it might be turn 5. Don't know. Again, their card quality, they're not getting card advantage here, but the card quality is real. Although they've discarded quality cards, which is scary in and of itself. But if you were to tell me you're not going to get anything done until turn 4 or 5, Ryan, this would not be the worst result from that side of things. Man, too bad. You're late. You're late. You're late. That being said, we're playing it. They'll probably look to kill it, pick it off, do something to it. But I'm not going to not actually do something on 4 when the Magic Gods were kind enough to offer something up. I actually get the song Age of Miracles in my head when I see the modern age. My TV on the radio. All right. Well, we have Return to Action and a 2-drop. We could slash... Let's see, if we slash something and swing in, they'll go for the Mender block. I guess I should just steward, find an enchantment, and again, try to set up the pillars. And that means I'm not going to send the ninja. That was really the question. Are we sending this in with the return to action threat? And it's, if I really wanted to use the slash this turn, that would make sense. And there is that. I mean, we could go, you know, it does, we can 2-spell this turn effectively, but I'm going to do the what we were all suggesting here. I'm just puzzling that through. It's the possibility of a 2-spell turn that had me thinking about it. And we want the Embrace more than we want to Drive. Yeah, that's another good one. These are how memes are made. All right, they left a crap ton of mana open. We're not really going to fall for that, are we? Now I'd rather send in the Sage. Could even slash first and see if that works. This gives us a couple options. Could destroy the Glider or the Mender. If we destroy the Mender, they get the card. Yeah, the Jammer, one of my wife's favorite bands. I underrated them as well until I married into Jam fandom. What am I doing? All that mana. We've seen the crab. I think Embrace Steward is so risky because of the blowout potential. I like banishing something. And yeah, let's do this. And then the return to action looks really nice. And I'm not putting an Embrace into this open mana. I probably even shouldn't put the return to action plan on it. But if it fails, there are still trades. So I'm still in. Either one of these, I'm going to trade one and bring back the other. And Shrine Steward is actually more relevant to bring back. It gets value immediately, so I'm going to do that. Although it's also, it's the artifact we need around for Naomi. But here, yeah, here's the Krabby Crabs. So now, not great, but I knew that was a possibility. It absolutely could Tron, but I think it's generally a better card at 4 CMC in terms of not caring about power. I think it gets more things. There's not a lot of 4-powered 3-drops anyway. Not a lot. I mean, I guess they get there. Anyway, what are we doing now? We can ink. We gotta ink Norika, or she goes nuts. So let's just do that. Dream Draw is like a the 2-drop artifact creature. We want the 2/1 artifact creature that we can play and then embrace. Yeah, this is so not greedy enough for me. All right, here we get we can go patrol or embrace. You don't think Norika is a must-kill in a situation where they immediately recast Modern Age? I think it was. Must kill or must block? Maybe not must kill, but must not let. But even block, like they could. That would probably be okay to accept a suicide attack just for a Modern Age. That would be okay. All right, I'll play Naomi because we have the patrol too. And we can be loosey-goosey with this Naomi since we have another anyway. But yeah, must stop, if not must kill. That's bad? That's not too bad. We have another. Yeah, we got a little bailout there. Circuit Mender doesn't draw a card. They're tapped out. We could Twisted Embrace, but Mender, yeah. It could be, Rob. I've gone into depth on that. You could do a lot of things, but there's a lot of consequences to those decisions that most people aren't thinking about. Anyway, sorry, back to this. I think I just Mender here because now we have the tools in hand to get value from Naomi. We can Embrace first, too. It's just that it's going to have to go Mender, Embrace, and I think I'd like to wait and see what they come up with next turn before embracing. So I'm going to go attack Moth Rider and Mender. Oath is so good. But we're going to set up our Oath machine, right? That's the idea anyway. Big scry decision for Oppo, it seems. Indeed, I did not submit in time, and indeed, we're super not happy with this card being in the deck. But that was my bad. It's all right. We still have a plan here. I wish you at least showed up last turn. I would have gone Mender Fall just to set up Naomi this turn. Now they're tapped out. This isn't... Yeah, I really want to get the Naomi value, so I'm going to go for less Embrace value. Although we could just go Fall. If we didn't think this was a worthy... If there's nothing worthy here, we could hold this and play this to set up the Naomi. That's a little... I'm going to go the Embrace plan. Puzzle Maker's good. It gives an attack up top. We still have Mender down below. And we set up our Naomi turn. Doesn't get enchantments, right? Artifact, instant, or sorcery. Well, new plan, everybody. New plan. And enough life and ground action to send the patrol again, and then drop an enlightenment. Yeah, it's our great sideboarding decisions that have really carried the day here, right? Although, to be fair, the card we replaced with the fall with would also have killed the threat. No blocks. We've got Naomi-ing to do. Yeah, that was a good scry. Still drew land, but oh, would have been countered. Yeah, maybe so. Right. Self-countered. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. We got lucky. I'll take it. Take it. Really, I'm going to do that. What? Oh, yes, we really do. This is where you got to be careful. Choose the legendary permanent that you wish to keep. I wish to keep the one without an aura upon it. It's all right. As long as we have the Mender, we're still making Naomi tokens. And at 18, I'm just going to take this again. Come on, deck. Well, we're really in a stalemate now. Let's sandbag the land and pass. Go make your tinfoil hat. Attack with what and why? What's our goal of attacking? We have these three to attack with. Naomi dies. Circuit Mender dies and removes the Naomi chance. And this gets eaten by a first striker. If you want to trade Naomi for 2 2/2s, I guess. Enlightenment's interesting. I kind of like sending. We could send everything with the ambusher here. Yeah, I think it's all or nothing. I agree with that. We gotta work through the board at some point. But Rob, we have tools to. I think you're being very eager if you're really trading Naomi for 2 tokens and making one of your own. Maybe if I don't have any other ways, but like we could find our Cloudsteel Kieran and put a Cloudsteel Kieran on Naomi, right? That seems better. I think if we send the first striker and the 2/3, we almost have to send Naomi specifically to make that distraction and just accept that we are giving up on Naomi to try and get some big value out of Ambusher and everything else. So I am going to, but now I have the Ambusher. I didn't have the Ambusher last turn. It didn't make sense last time, but now it does kind of make sense to me, and I'm going to go ahead and swing away. I'm doing all of them. Maybe they'll take the hand. Yeah, I actually wanted that because they probably they don't block the Hand of Enlightenment. And this is what I wanted to bounce back. So, oh, we can do Mender, though, even better. I was excited. I didn't think Mender was going to get through. So Mender's even better than Enlightenment. We salute Naomi for her service and get our Mender back. And this doesn't suck either. Although, if they're crabbing, yeah, clock is a thing as usual. Too many interesting things to talk about. What am I supposed to do? And what am I supposed to do here? We swing away. The Enlightenment keeps eating stuff. Eats a 3-2. Circuit Mender could be double blocked. I guess we can send the 2-3 and the 2-2 at the very least. I just don't know if we're supposed to send others. What do we get if we send others? They're at 14. They can take this. They just start eating our other stuff, which just doesn't seem right. Familiar on the Enlightenment is going to be quite the brick wall. Decoy. Really, we need our Kieran. We get the flying rare artifact. We can both get up in the air to start closing out the game and also just start equipping it and failing and setting up to not lose. I'm clicking as fast as I can now. This is intentional, just trying to draw cards, which they know. All right, that could be relevant. I'm going to hold it for next turn and see where to put it then. Big lifelinker, or yeah, I was gonna say big first, or big, big death touch menace. Also not the worst. I think at 19 here we go for death touch menace, and we do get the draw here. Here it is, my first draw off Kami of Terrible Secrets. We're gonna try. Maybe I should have gone for Born to Drive first. Oh, okay. Well, look at that. Oppo's like, no, you don't get to draw for the first time. That's fine, though. I like that. We basically got Oppo to... We drew that card out, which is sad because we don't get an extra card. But we do get Born to Drive on... Blade Blesser without them having a removal spell. Crab mana is still possible. We may get crabbed here, but we're going to try. And here's me talking too much when I should be playing faster. It's just very hard for me to... I don't play fast anyway, and while streaming, I just can't help but talk about what I'm doing. Mender can go for more options at this point. We'll save that. I guess I could have just run it out and been part of my go wide, but I feel like this does have some play here if we find another creature, but Oath is much better draw. Start with an attack. I'm gonna send everything at this point, especially with Oath behind. Let's pull the beetle and use it to kill the hand. Although actually we don't even really need to do that. It's like I'd rather just oath. I guess we, yeah. Well, we still can. We can do it all. Oh, it's right. It costs how much though? Yeah, we can ward 2. We can ward 2 and still do it. I was just making sure we could still oath. Oh, did I math wrong? I mathed wrong. I thought we had 8. Well, now I've kind of committed here. Although I could decline and just oath. But killing this thing would be good. Yeah, I'll do it. Not the best addition I've ever come up with, but still looking okay. Just need to win in 4 minutes and change. No problem. Does Kieran work on clock? Yeah, I am going to see if we can get more aggro. The thing is, I doubt we can. I mean, I can bring in the dragonfly suit. Probably should. Mentor's a little bit aggro. Centipedes are a little aggro. We're going to pull the fall. I don't even think we want repel. No, there's no way they... If you allowed clock circumvention on a... just because of a magic rules interaction, you could just leave a game hanging indefinitely. But what else are we doing to maximize aggro? Unforgiving 1 is pretty aggro. We gotta focus here. I think we don't want the suit. Yeah, we can actually probably pull the return because that's not the plan. We don't want to return to action. We need to stay in action. And then we can actually cut a... we can trim a land, be a little greedy there. 1 Naomi, maybe? Yeah, I like 1 Naomi. Oath, I still like Oath at the top end, although I don't know how we're winning a game where I even cast an Oath. Yeah, I think I still like the Shrine. It does go get removal that can clear the way to get there first, get through. I'm just wondering if I should like run the Unforgiving 1 over even like a Centipede or something. Yeah, I'm not forgetting. I'm just deciding. All right, let's do this, and here we go. Did I not take Outfall? I thought I took Outfall already. All right, play fast, Ryan. See if we can get there. Or at least make it close. Mulligan, I want to be more aggressive. We're going to keep this. Throw this back. We have more double black than double white. This is a pretty aggressive start, at least. Ambusher on 2. Born to Drive on the Ambusher on 3. Or patrol back out. Centipede on 3 now looks like the play. Or maybe Decoy plus Patrol. With the mana up, it'd be good to get something through. All right. In that case, I'm going to go for the most power on attacks. A land we can consider Born to Drive Patrol. Ooh, that's rough. That almost makes me feel like we can't get there. But maybe it's Patrol, Born to Drive on Patrol. And that's basically the best shot we've got here. And I'm going to max mana and just do it now. Maybe move the Centipede up there and maybe we can get lucky. I hate our chances. Like, Oppo has to have nothing for the patrol. We're going all eggs, one basket, Moth Rider Patrol. We'll see. And also, moving the Chain Flail doesn't do that much. It only adds 1 right now because I don't get the +2. I mean, anyway, I go from 3 to 2/2 that goes to 4. So this isn't even really a super impressive play. But we can try again. Are they going to deny me again on the draw? Let's see. Go ahead, crab it. Or yeah, kill the patrol. Nope. Almost. Not only that, I think it just lost us the game. Boo earns another 0-2 start. Oh, I won. Sorry, not 0-2. I at least got a game this time. And at least it was really about the play. I didn't really lose on clock here. I lost because I am losing this game. But it's still close. Like, I would like another 5 minutes on the clock here to try and grind this out. But we needed to win fast, and we didn't. So it's just super unlikely we can get there from here. Yeah, I mean, could move stuff around, shuffle some deck chairs on this here Titanic. I don't know. It doesn't matter, gang. We're done. We're done. We had our shot, and it is over. Yeah. Sure. This looks great. We got him right where we want him. I should scoop and start playing Meaningful Magic again. But look, Oppo's making fun, interesting decisions. Sure, this looks good. Or actually, dude, we got to do this, right? One time, something awesome. Ink on. I can only play one, right? Or is it both? Play one of those cards. Huh, kind of need the land, but need to ink more. Spell Pierce. All right, whatever. You had me at 1 minute. Well, a big silver lining in Magic play right now is that I got a win today. We are infinitely more winning today than we were on Wednesday. I still like return to action in this deck. I am going to bring in a repel for the fall, though, as our main deck configuration. Yeah, who knows how that plays out if I weren't specifically playing to the clock. Because I did a lot of aggressive stuff that was, we have to win now or we're not going to win at all. This I can keep at least a Blade Blesser on 3. Hopefully we'll find something else to do, though. And I will just try to play a little more. It's just, I should just be a best of one streamer. Suits my approach to things a little better. I mostly am, really. Mender over Blesser. Blesser with Artifact becomes Death Touch. That's not a big deal. I'll still go for most power, though, here. And if we find an enchantment we want to play, Menace is nice. Argument from Mender is that if we find an enchantment, we could go Mender, Enchantment, Pillar. Got a Kami of Terrible Secrets, which is being exactly how I perceived it coming in, that this was just going to be the constant case. I never can cast this and get anything. As it is, I am going to take a 1-mana optimization penalty and Mender it up here. Noting Oppo stuck on 1 land, so looking good for our chances here. Oppo might scoop just to not show us anymore. And I've been there. I mean, I'm not saying Oppo didn't make the right keep, but I am wondering, seeing the Secluded Courtyard in a red deck makes me wonder what they're up to. I think we might have an experience advantage here, based on what I'm seeing. Yeah, a bunch of samurais, I guess. I still don't like that card for it. Kami isn't going to draw us, but we're playing it. Must have all 2 drops. Oh yeah, because they discarded a 2, you mean? But, well, maybe they have a bunch of other 2s they plan to play instead. All right, we've got a 5th land. Some stuff we can hold up. This seems all fine. Yeah, there you go. They must have had the... I just need a land and I can get a 3rd land. I get it. I've made some weird, embarrassing-looking 1-land keepers that just look so dumb when you don't get there, but there are many good reasons to keep a 1-lander. Do I need to show them that? They're at 4. No, they don't. We can just swing. Oppo, come on now. It's... If you don't want to scoop, okay, but do you have to think so hard? I guess I have a mentality about a lot of games where it's like, it's not about whether or not I'm for sure winning or losing. It's about I'm enjoying this puzzle, you know? So, no worries, Oppo. I get it. obvious lethal isn't necessarily a reason to stop playing if you're enjoying the choices. Speaking of choices, red, white, samurai from a less experienced player. Repel certainly has got to go, maybe just for another return to action. Although, yeah, it's going to get some stuff here, but I don't see enough to be sure. Rather even just drop like an Unforgiving one in the deck, or Centipede. Centipede adds some action for the enchantment artifact stuff. Just don't love it. But I don't love adding, you know, at least it adds to that whole, to the plan. So I'm going to do that, but I don't love it. We'll see. Yeah, it has the Unforgiving one with Menace was one consideration, but more fodder for my orders and my cares about enchantment plus artifact sub-theme. I liked keeping up the artifact count. Not that I removed one, but, you know, I did pull an enchantment. I don't know. It's just not bad to have that going on as well. Sorry, this is an easy keep in that. That's the place where I lose clock and don't need to. I need to make those snap keeps and then start talking. So if I could just train myself on when to chatter a little better, I'd be much better on clock. Too often I blah, blah, blah while leaving an easy choice on the clock. We've got 4 lands. We're trying to get to Naomi and Imperial now, so I like these both. We don't have an artifact yet, though, so this Naomi actually isn't going to get anything done. This is just a 4/4 for 5, which is not that impressive. I'd rather go digging for artifacts. I'm just going to do this. I could keep the land given the oath, but I just always feel like we'll get there on lands. I don't need to prioritize lands. And we can do a Moon Sage just as a hard cast. We could set up Blade Blesser, but we're not going to have... Oh, it does have Menace. Let's go Blade Blesser under Menace with the Moon Sage possible as ninjutsu next turn. There's our other Naomi. Trouble is, they probably double block here, but at least Return to Action gets them both. They're going to get quite a big Samurai, but we've got the Embrace for that. So I actually like this sequence here. They're damned if they do, damned if they don't, and they can choose whichever they'd like. I'm going to do this. I think it's worth it. Free cards, etc. Oh, rude. That is quite the crotch kick for that card result. Let's see how they want to play this, though. It's a pretty fun threat going back the other way. All right, we've got the Embrace. They got a ton of mana open, though. I like the Return to Action available here, and we've got the Blade Blesser plus Return play. So let's send in... They probably just 1-for-1 block. I'm going to send both, though, because if they go for the Eat, we can Return to Action on the Enlightenment. Open mana, a little nerve-wracking. Return to action into deal 4 to attacker is real, but at least with this, we can just accept it. I don't even need to respond if we're okay with this. And I kind of am. We can go. Although, man, they didn't do it yet. I'm not sure what this is about, though, especially with the lack of cracking the terrarium. Although that wouldn't have prevented the deal 4, so that doesn't explain it anyway. Well, that's the idea, Siriana, but it's just very risky to run return to action into this open mana. But with this player, I think I'm going to do it, though. Oh no, here we go. Maybe if I feel like I have a skill advantage on my opponent, I shouldn't be taking these risks. I should just play a more straightforward long game. Ah, there you go. We gave them the 2-for-1 that they didn't have. Lovely. We did draw it out of their hand, though. We're a land away from an oath, and this is a really nice hand. I doubt they have a hand that defeats this one currently. This thing getting big, though, is scary. Might have to Twisted regardless of draw. 6th land, but really kind of need to do this. Well, we got the 6th land, but we couldn't cast the Imperial Oath anyway. There is Shock mana open, so this could go poorly, but we're going to make him have it. The question is, where do we want to put the Embrace? Vigilance, Death Toucher, potentially? Or just the First Striker. Since this already has some built-in evasion with the Menace, I'm going to put it on the First Striker to give it more power to get through, including, against just slightly extra toughness. Well, anything allows it to get in if we kill this, but yeah, we want to kill the Samurai, so we're going to do that. And do we make the offer with the Blade Blesser? Yeah, we do. With this hand, I just like our spot. If they want to trade Mentor for Blade Blesser, that's fine. They get a 2/2 sling. Am I risking like double strike death or something? We'll see, I don't know. But really want to Oath next turn and find a cheap artifact and maybe even go artifact into Naomi from there. And I'm glad Oppo is losing their chance at the card we were worried about. Hey, there's our artifact. We could just do that now. Gains us some life at 7 as well. You just Oath just locks it down though, right? That's true. And they're in a tough spot regardless. So, all right, let's Oath it up. I'm with you, Rob. I am also on attack if we're going to Oath. Beetle actually gets something here and leads into the Naomi with land if we wanted, but we can't really do both of those. I don't think I want the Centipede. I don't want the land given that. I just want Beetle. But I don't even necessarily need the Beetle. It's just good here. I'll take it. Well, yeah, sure, the math, Rob, but the reality is against red-white, there are just worlds in which being at 7 against the right attacks without the right blocks, I mean, we may need to throw a bunch on the 7 tail to ensure that we don't lose to some double-striking ninjutsu. Well, I guess that doesn't really do it. Anyway, I'm just paranoid about low life, bottom line. And that's, part of the reason why I can be paranoid. I'll just make this offer, though. Or make this, on the you could make the case for just staying wide. How do they win if we just keep 5 creatures to attack with? But I think we have that anyway. I'm going to play it safe in case of... I mean, there is ninjutsu in white. I don't know. Some crazy world where they ninjutsu the double striker and then pump it and we're dead. Like, that could happen. I'm going to do this. See what we get. 1 land. They did pause, though, so likely whatever they do have over here is something. Let's find out what. Mentor can block the 3/3. That's a little concerning that they didn't. Oh, I guess it was either bad news or great news. It was such a weird block. It either meant we were gonna get punished or it was gonna end. All right, picked up a win. Let's see. Come on, 1,000 gems. Not with that opener. Ugh, worse. I mean, just as bad, but we're going to keep... At least we have Exemplar and Enlightenment on any land and Decoy. So we're going to keep and drop the Mythic, probably, as the... When we finally do get double black. Although, this can be cast on single black with the ninjutsu. So maybe we're supposed to keep this and pitch the ink. That must have 2 swamps for any function. It's just the better card, I think, the ink. But I'll do this. I'm going to give it a shot. Had to pass a bunch of raids for this deck and was sad about it. But I'm happy we got 1 land. We'll see. Probably going to go Era to get the Scry going. Look for black. Cult Leader. Late Patrol. Gotta go with Era when we're digging for lands. Do we want to keep the plains? Does give us the Moon Sage on 4, so sure, let's keep both of these. It just doesn't give us the second black. I'm going to keep them, though. We can go Patrol Beetle next turn. And if the coast is clear, try to ninjutsu the Beetle. And if not, probably easily ninjutsu the Patrol. That's a lot of damage they're throwing out there, though. Gaining life doesn't suck here. I like Beetle getting a card, though. And maybe look at aggro. We certainly don't look ninjutsu-y, so it would not surprise me to see them crash in. The thing is, they're likely to use the anvil to make a 1/1 token that they'll consider pretty expendable. No? All right. If they don't make a token here, we're pretty happy. What was what play about? Theirs or mine? Oh, I think they're just trying to get damage in. They're trying to get us dead, which I understand, but we're going to try and punish them for that. Oh, baby. Oh yeah, we'll be playing some lizard blades. Throw those right on a moon sage here. Although, gotta watch it. We're at 12 life, and I'm playing stuff that casts on using life as mana, so yikes. But they've slowed down. We could slash the anvil. We could slash the raid captain. I wonder if anvil is the thing that keeps them hanging around here, though. What do you think? Anvil... we can either go beetle first, and then we'll get our dude. We go decoy and get our dude, but don't have to. We get a better power, and we don't get nothing out of the beetle. So let's do. Oh, I already had it. Sorry, I forget. The blades aren't mine, so I didn't really register. We don't even need to do that, so we can wait till after combat or play the exemplar. Let's start with banishing the anvil, though. And blades configures for 2. So actually I just like configuring the blades and crashing in here. We got a 2/2 back that can protect us. If we get a land, we can use it and play it. Hee hee hee. But Oppo, I might have killed myself. Oh, doing it with Oppo's equipment is just extra brutality. 2 anvils, indeed something to note. I don't know if we can do anything about it. That we don't already have main deck. Do we want our repel? It's the repel that's doesn't look like it's doing much here. We can get the raid captain. I guess there's a couple of sagas, but I'm not loving repel the vial. And with the early ground action, I'm expecting a lot of ground tangling. So actually the return to actions look good to me here. And then, yeah, I'm going to just go with that. All right. Great start from Oppo. Love it. Oh, they chose not to apprentice sack there. I suppose maybe they're waiting for for another creature to get that chain going. I just like getting the anvil going right away. It just is, you're giving up 1+1/+1 counter to start the drain process immediately. I don't know. That's where I was at, but let's see. Let's find a 3-drop artifact here. No 3-drop artifact. We're going to keep the oath and drop a land, even though we technically need a 6th land and we've got 5. I just feel like we'll find another one soon enough off the top after the oath that I'm willing to find it that way. After drawing the oath, obviously not after resolving it. Sweet. I can see that now. There's a lot going on there with that play, if Oppo had that in hand. And come on, double Iron Apprentice, double Anvil. I love Oppo's deck, I really do. Maybe I shouldn't have kept the Oath and I was supposed to go digging for something to do on 3, but I don't know. We got some life back. It's just such an aggressive opponent. Maybe I should have considered that option more, just not even keeping the Oath. Thing is, if we can resolve it, it feels like it just solves the problem of this deck, of Oppo's deck. All right. This is nice. We get to play a beetle and then hold up the return to action. Potentially get another card out of them that they're not expecting. Ooh. The thing is, if I return this to action, we get the whole thing going again, and Kami works for next turn, so I'm going to do it. Also, we might not get anything else because the beetle's getting their last card, so there's no guarantee that returning a beetle to action gets anything anyway. Cloudsteel, 6th land for the Oath, though. I think we go, we just keep them both, but in this order, and then Cloudsteel is a play next turn. Right? We've already played land this turn, right? Yeah, we must have, because our swamps are separated. So then I like this switch. I like this choice. We're just going to go Kami next, because I don't want to shuffle the library and not get the land. But if we go Kami into Imperial Oath, I like our chances. That life gain, this life gain, all good. Yeah, I haven't picked up a deck like this in a while, but it might be my favorite deck in the format. I love the Anvil. I've been playing the Anvil standard deck, and just love the black-red Anvil deck in Limited, too. So, got a decent cushion. And yeah, the thing is, if we Oath and find a lot to like, we're not going to run the Steward out in a while. And that's okay, though, right? Yeah, let's Oath it up. Do we need to attack first? If we send in, they might block, double block with the Apprentice and throw the counters somewhere. But then we can Steward to look for removal to take care of that. So it might not be... You know, we can send in... I think I am. I also like the idea of them being a little bit... you know, going ahead and eggs and basketing their board situation. All right, they didn't even block anyway. That's fine. A little risky knowing our deck. We could have ninjutsu'd that back, but we'll take the Oath. Speaking of. So don't need the planes. And I think we probably bottom the decoy, keep, although maybe we don't even keep any of this. Like, is this ninjutsu getting through? With Cloudsteel, we might get some flying going with it, and it could close out the game. So I think we keep the Mythic, but I'm going to let the decoy go. Kieran's 5 to configure, so it takes 8 to play and equip in one hit. Yeah, it's true, but also if we've got the Kieran hooked up, that should be fine anyway. But let's see. Let's figure it out. I don't think they block this again, so we can probably just get more life out of that. I'm going to send... and they don't have any blocks, really. So we just get to send in everything, even the beetle. If they want to take a moment to block and kill the beetle, I guess we want the artifact there. So I'm not going to send the beetle. A little bit too easy for them at 24 to just eat that beetle. And it has relevance here. This looks fine. Yeah, I can't choose mana. I either pay life or I don't use it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we can still get there. Thanks. Wasn't paying attention. Love first. I don't think I've ninjutsu'd a first striker before. It's cool. It's kind of like a secret double strike. Take their other anvil, although it just stays exiled, right? We could take the ninjutsu thing as a good blocker, but anvil, sacking beetle, and getting era going seems great here. This kind of cancels their anvil for us. And we'll take the mender for sure. No, I didn't need to there, D, because the damage was first strike. So there was a whole extra pause before regular damage to get that all done. And without first strike, I would have, yes, but I didn't need to because I had first strike. Mender or steward here. Let's go steward, getting removal, and if we can get rid of this captain, then they're just I guess we can do Kieran. I guess we can do Kieran and Mender. Let's do a 2-spell. I should just 2-spell. But let's figure out attacks first, if any. We don't have any good attacks now at a 4/4, so we're just going to 2-spell and pass. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I think it's not unreasonable for Wizards of the Coast and the designers of this game to say, you know what, if you want to do post-damage, pre-second main phase shenanigans, you have to full control that. All right, so we're not attacking, but we can go ahead and anvil here. Could Mender to draw, but don't need to do that. I'm just going to keep cycling this one. Yeah, we could send the construct. I mean, they just would have blocked it, and I would have done that mid-combat. I could have made them do that, but I just think they would have. But that's perfect play to send the construct before. Oh, would they kill? Kieran, all right. Makes sense. Triple anvil. No wonder we found an anvil. All right, there's some removal though. I like our spot. We got an anvil to offset one of theirs, and we got the creatures now to erase the others. And we can 2-spell this turn to boot. Gotta block their mythic. And we're actually just gonna go fetch, well, they've got ground clog, so maybe getting the Born to Drive isn't right. We'll just get the removal spell. If I had a flyer though, we'd just go for power in the air. But Twisted Embrace seems correct here. Kind of says, what are you going to do about it? Born makes attackers, but Twisted Embrace kills a blocker, which is just about as good. I wasn't worried. We had him overwhelmed. And they're netting one blocker a turn because they need to chump at least. Anyway, yeah. Well, hey, cool. I liked Oppo's deck a lot, but I like that we beat it. We got some gems out of this. No No Ophir. All right. No profit, but we got some back. Sack 2 a turn to make 4. Yeah. No, because they're getting 2 a turn, right? Because the anvil only works once for each one. But yeah, cool. That was fun. I liked the draft. I liked the deck. I got to do a first time thing for me, which is crazy, but I finally drew a card and gained a life off the kami. Nice. All right. I do have some AMAs we can hit. And I'm going to take... Oh, I see. I'm going to go... there's only one AMA, but I'll hit it. It's from Alexis. I'm going to... There's a lot of ways I could go with this question, but I'm going to go in a direction that feeds into something I promised you all anyway, which is, for those of you who remember, I last week said this week I had an announcement for you all. And I do have a bit of an announcement, and I'm going to use Alexis's question to segue into that. Alexis's question was, what is your finest hour? And it's a funny question because, we think it's basically your finest moment, but I was trying to think, that's a tough call. When did I have the most life-changing good hour of my life? And there's a few options. One of my finest hours had to be my first date with my wife. I was on point. I was charming. I was on it, and I got her. I convinced my my eventual bride that I was the one for her, and it all started on that first date where I convinced her to have another one with me. So that's one thing that comes to mind. Just I presented well on my first date with my wife. But in a similar vein, the one I'm going to go with is my finest hour. I was married at this point and actually had a young baby. My daughter Clara was under a year old. She was just a wee babe. And I left my job. I had been promoted to president of a company at this point. I don't even put president on my resume because it looks weird. Like it doesn't, it's weird that like my, anyway, the thing I really did most for the company was like general manager, production management, job management, people management. But anyway, I wasn't getting along with one of the key owners of the company. It was a co-owned company, and one of the owners had promised me that if I took on this new role, A, B, and C would happen. I took on the new role. He reneged. A, B, and C did not happen. And in particular, he said, if you take on this role, I'm going to give you these decision-making powers. And then immediately as I tried to use those decision-making powers, he's like, well, I don't know about that decision, Ryan. So I was like, all right, I'm out. And but where to? I was not in games yet, and I made one of the most important decisions of my life. It wasn't my finest hour, but an important decision. I looked up some job hunting resources, and I read a book that has various editions in print, and I still recommend philosophically what's going on with it, called "What Color Is Your Parachute?" Some of you may be familiar with it, but what color? The fundamental, it's a job hunting book, and there's a lot of techniques and tips and whatever in it. But the fundamental thing that changed my mindset was basically the idea of saying, look, you've got the job skills you have that people will pay for, job skills that you've developed and expertise you have in the world that is worth money. And there's this things that you love in life, your hobbies, your passions, the stuff you care about the most. And his real point is, look, almost everything in the world that you love also has a need for the skill sets that people are willing to pay you for. So if you can find the thing you love plus the skill set people will pay for, marry them, you can find your true career passion because you'll find a job doing a thing you're good at in a world you love. So I took that to heart, and I started asking myself what I really loved. And I was like, well, I'm a big sports fan. So I wrote that down. I was like, I'm going to think about jobs that I could get with the Mariners or the Seahawks or that type of thing. I like movies and music. Is there something I can do in the, local music? Maybe KEXP needs a DJ. I don't know. Like I'm going through all sorts of thoughts here. But games. I love games. How do I get into making games? I don't know. Anyway, I really just started deciding to look for work in my area of passion, and focused on games when I realized I just am a lifelong gamer and I love them. And so then I started reading the book more and really taking the approach of just being aggressive and going after some stuff that maybe you don't think that you're qualified for exactly. But, it's just about convincing somebody to hear you out and to get somebody's ear, and then it's all on you. And I found a listing for a job at Sierra Online for documentation manager on the Hoyle line of PC games. So Hoyle Casino, Hoyle card games, Hoyle board games, and that whole line, venerable classic series that I had played a lot myself. And they needed, back in the day when you sold software, there was a desire to have a hefty box of, you wanted to feel like something was in that box besides just a CD or whatever. Actually, it should be up here. And so, anyway, the Hoyle games all came with a pretty thick strategy guide, like a little mini book in there on how to play these different games. And they needed someone to replace they had an outgoing strategy guide writer, the documentation manager, not only the strategy guide stuff, but all of the printed materials related to shipping those titles. I applied to be responsible for the words on all of those materials. And I don't have any kind of resume for that. I worked in preschool. I was a preschool teacher for 4 years. And then I was in the shipping department, and then eventually in production management for a tech company that did a weird little side thing for the tech industry. And it was a very niche type company. So I didn't have a lot of I didn't have anything that pointed to games on my resume, but I had I had experience, so I put it in there, and I went and I applied for this job. And I should go look it up. One of my strengths is I'm a good writer, and I can communicate clearly in writing in these types of scenarios. And I think I made a knockout cover letter for that resume, because here I am. Like, I think if you just looked at my resume, you're not going to call me, but this is a job for writing. So this was an opportunity, like, okay, if I can nail this cover letter, I'm already kind of putting forward my qualifications for this job, because this is about writing. So I wrote what I felt was just a killer cover letter and crossed my fingers. And sure enough, about 3 or 4 days later, I got an email from Sierra, not only with a request, not a request for an interview, but basically a request for an interview. It was a design test. They sent me a design test, and it was, and they wanted it back. I think they gave me they told me that they were going to send me something and to set aside some time on the day. So I knew that they were going to do something, and they wanted this back at within 24 hours or something. I think that was their request. I can't remember how long they gave me for it. It was at least 4 hours, 4 to 24 hours they gave me to do this. And the question, I thought it was a great question too. It says, your friend is having a dinner party with 4 people total, and your friend is trying to decide whether or not they are going to play hearts or spades as the game of the evening, and nobody knows how to play either game. So the host is going to learn how to play the game and teach it to their friends, and they're going to play that game that night. Make a 1 to 2 page executive summary on your friend's choice and whether or not they should choose hearts versus spades as their game choice for the evening. And now we get to Alexis's question, what is your finest hour? I think potentially the finest hour in my life is the 1 hour-ish I took to turn around and crush that assignment, to crush it. Like, I knew the answer immediately. The answer is hearts. To not go too deep there, but like if you're talking about inexperienced card gamers, there's a couple of things that make hearts more sensible than spades, and primarily though it's not, hearts is not a partner game. I think on the one hand, you could make a case for, hey, couple versus couple is a good reason to do a partner game. But I think when you're teaching people to learn a game, it's really intimidating to feel like, oh, and now I have a partner who cares about how good I am at this. Like, mostly for a new game experience, it's a lot more relaxing for people to only be playing for themselves, and Hearts is just less complicated, and it's more exciting. It's more flashy. Hearts has really big moments. You've got the Queen of Spades doing 13 points of bad points. Anyway, if you know Hearts versus Spades, I think Hearts is just a more appealing, has more curb appeal as a game. And you don't have to explain bidding. Boy, you have a bunch of casual gamers that you're going to teach a casual card game to, and you want to go with a partner-based bidding game? No. Start them on Hearts. Let them learn what it is to take tricks. Let them learn a baseline trick-taking game, and then introduce games in which you have to be good enough at trick-taking to assess your hand and predict how many you're going to take. If you're new to spades, you don't know what to bid. But if you're new to Hearts, you don't need to bid. You just are trying not to take points, right? Anyway, you see, like, all of this just snapped into my head, just like that. And I immediately crafted just what I thought was a great document. Again, I probably have it in my files somewhere. But the point is, they gave me a huge amount of time to do it. And instead, I turned it around in about an hour and crushed it. So it was great. It was a great 2-pager. I know it was correct. I know I was making the correct suggestion, and I knew it was just very strong. I edited the crap out of it so that there was no mistakes in it. Anyway, I sent that and it was like, this is going to get me an interview. There's no way this doesn't get me an interview. And I sent it, and by God, I got that interview. And you know, and it was like they were totally. Because again, I was leaving a job where I was president of a company, and it was such a weird. I would like to go from president of this company to documentation manager of your company. They kind of didn't believe it, and I had to, but I needed to get that interview to then explain. It's like, look, yeah, but this was it was a terrible situation. That's not what I want to do with my life. This industry and what you're doing here is what I want to do with my life. That's why I'm applying for this job. That's why I'm here. I know it's a disconnect between what I was doing before and what you're doing now, but you bring me on board and I'm going to keep crushing it, and I'm your guy. They agreed. They made me an offer, and I got my first job in the game industry at Sierra Online in 2001. That's when I started there. And so that's the answer to Alexis's question of what my finest hour is. And the segue into my announcement is that long ago, I think in fact it was Dionysus who asked me if I would think about if I would ever go back to work. And I told him, or traditional work, you know, full-time 40-hour a week office style work. I told everybody in Dionysus at the time that if I started actively looking for work, I would let everybody know. And so that's what I'm doing today. I'm letting you know that I am actively pursuing full-time employment again. And it's, if fruitful, obviously will impact this stream. And how it will impact this stream is going to depend on a lot of factors, primarily where I land and how this stream would impact whatever they're doing. In some cases, I could see it being a huge plus. In some cases, I could see it being such a deal breaker that I unfortunately have to say the streaming for now is paused. You know, I'm going to say paused because if I took a job where I was not streaming anymore at all, I would put this on hold and hopefully come back to it at some point. I'm not sure how many of you all would be there and when that would be, but I'm not taking that off the table. Basically, I've just hit a point where you can blame Alexis. Let's blame Alexis. Whenever I can, I try to blame Alexis. And Alexis really helped me speed up my processing of my card business. Like basically, with Alexis and TCG Player helping me understand the tools available, I was able to get so far ahead on my card processing that I'm actually pretty quickly going to close in on a point where the card business isn't really asking much of me. Unless I find all sorts of new inventory to buy. But I've almost got things set up where all I'm doing is managing prices, and it's not full-time work anymore. And my family has a lot of goals right now. We're looking to build a construction. We're building a new construction in our backyard. My children are looking, they kind of both took pauses on college fronts while waiting for pandemic stuff to shake out, but now both of them are looking at school again. So it's a good time for me to both sell a bunch of the cards that I've worked so hard to get queued up for TCG Player, and also take on a salary while my wife is also taking on a salary. And then for the first time in our lives, we'll have a large enough income flow that we can just accomplish a bunch of the stuff that we're trying to accomplish. And I am feeling quite ready for an office style challenge again, in terms of taking on, whether it's game design, project creation. Game industry is the obvious place for me to land, but I could see many futures for me from here. But I wanted to let you know that I'm looking, and I hope to have updates for you again pretty soon. And just to say that my goal is to try and craft a situation where I can still stream on evenings and most likely weekends. I was pretty disabused of the notion of working a full-time day and then streaming in the evenings during my jury duty stretch last summer. That really taught me that I was in no shape to be a quality streamer when starting at 8 p.m. after a full day. So, I don't know, D, what are you offering me one? I just told you I'm looking. And this is not a desperation move. This is just a smart play. I am aware that I have the ability and time to move in that direction, and really, for the first time in a long time, the drive. After leaving Wizards, I did not have the drive to create games and make successful group projects, you know? So, I just want to build something with other people again. And I'm going to leave it at that, D. My dream job would be to build something cool with other amazing people. Yeah, maybe Radianware with remote work. I fully expect if I'm in the tech industry, I'll be fully remote. But yeah, roofing. Do a full office space and just end up in construction. All right. Well, that's what I got for you. That's where I'm at. That's my announcement. Changes ahead for sure, and I'm excited about them. And I'm really going to work hard to keep connected with this community, no matter how it plays out coming up. Okay, thanks, gang. Thanks, Vargan. Appreciate it. And with that, I'm going to look for raid captain options. Speaking of options. Jamie's available. Alias V, we haven't raided in a while. NCAA, we have raided. Reed is playing, but not Magic. Same with Amy. Yeah, a lot of not Magicers. Also, let me make sure nobody redeemed raid captain. I closed my... Okay. Sure, let's send you to Jamie. She's got just a handful of viewers, so she's probably just started to, or else it's a slow day on the inner tubes. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Thanks for hanging. Had fun as always. Well, I think I mostly always have fun. There's like been a stream or two where I just wasn't feeling it that day. And certainly I get tilty when things don't go my way. But overall, good times. Thanks, everybody. Say hi to Jamie, and we'll catch you on Monday. All right. See ya.